Welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's just be totally honest right out of the gate. Whenever someone brings up artificial intelligence, you can practically feel the temperature in the room shift, right? Half the people start nodding along wisely, like they're some kind of seasoned tech guru, and the other half, well, they break into this quiet, existential panic. If you've been feeling that panic, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. But today, we're going to clear the air. We're ditching the dramatic sci-fi movie tropes, and we're going to look at exactly how AI actually works, completely panic-free. So I gotta ask you, is ChatGPT just this tiny, incredibly judgmental genius living inside your phone? I mean, is it analyzing your late-night typos, questioning your life choices, and secretly plotting world domination while you sleep? I want to assure you right now, absolutely not. There is no magic here. It is definitely not a malicious robot brain waiting to take over. We really need to strip away all that mystique so we can understand what is actually sitting right there in your pocket. Look, at its very core, artificial intelligence is basically just an artificial guessing machine. But it's one that is extremely confident about its guesses. Think of it less like an all-knowing mystical oracle and way more like a very enthusiastic parrot that somehow managed to graduate from an incredibly expensive prep school. It mimics, it repeats, and you know what? It does it with absolute conviction. All right, let's break this down. Step 1. The ultimate guessing machine. To understand AI, you have to realize that predicting things is its main trick. Imagine you have a friend who has read almost every single thing ever written in the history of the world. But instead of actually understanding the deep philosophical meaning behind those words, they just got really good at guessing which word comes next in a sentence. That's it. That's the whole trick. It doesn't know facts the way you know your own name. It is literally just predicting the next word. Now, to get that unbelievably good at guessing, the AI had to read. A lot. And I mean a frankly bizarre amount of text. We're talking books, news articles, completely unhinged tweets, your aunt's weird WhatsApp forwards, recipes, terrible poetry, and yes, even those endless fiery Reddit arguments about whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Because it has consumed all of this, when you ask it, the capital of France is, it hasn't actually learned geography. It's just seen that exact phrasing 11 billion times, which makes Paris a statistically safe bet. So how does an AI actually learn to pull this off? We call this step 2 the homework from hell. Because before an AI can guess well, it has to study. But we are not just talking about cramming the night before a biology exam. We are talking about studying the entire internet through a massive, unimaginably huge fill-in-the-blanks worksheet. Words get hidden from the text, and the AI is forced to try and fill them in over and over and over again. Let's look at how that training actually plays out in real time. The AI gets a prompt like, the cat sat on the blank. At first, it is terrible at this. It guesses complete garbage. It might say airplane or democracy or your mom's car. Wrong, wrong, wrong. But every single time it fails, little math elves inside the system, okay, they're actually just numbers called weights, but come on, elf sounds much cooler. They adjust the system slightly. They tweak the little dials. You do this billions of times, and eventually the AI stops guessing airplane and gets shockingly good at guessing mat. Which brings us to step 3, the architecture behind the whole operation, neural networks. Picture this as a massive, intricate digital spiderweb. It's loosely, and I mean very loosely, please don't quote this to your biology teacher, inspired by the neurons in a human brain. Every single strand in this vast web is connected to thousands of other strands, and each connection has a tiny dial on it that controls exactly how much a specific word or concept matters. I love this description. It's essentially an extremely elaborate pinball machine made of math. Think about what happens when you actually hit enter on a prompt. Your words are launched into this massive machine. They zoom through the digital spiderweb, bouncing around from node to node, getting weighed, adjusted, and recalculated by all those math elves, until, ping, the most mathematically probable answer pops out the other side. Okay, step 4. You might be wondering, if it's literally just math and guessing, why does it sound so incredibly smart? Well, it's because it has completely absorbed our patterns. It has spent its entire existence soaking in human grammar, human logic, and yeah, even stealing our jokes off Twitter. When it talks to you, it's not generating some profound original thought. It is seamlessly remixing the collective wisdom, and let's be honest, the collective nonsense of millions of human beings. Think of it kind of like a brilliant librarian who has been locked in a room for 300 years, only allowed to speak using sentences other people have already written.
On one hand, they'd sound like an absolute genius, but on the other hand, because they're just blindly repeating patterns, they might confidently look you dead in the eye and tell you the moon is made of cheese. Why? Because someone wrote that as a joke somewhere in the library, and the AI totally missed the sarcasm. In the AI world, we call this a hallucination, being completely, utterly wrong that's saying it with absolute swagger.
Which leads us to step 5, the big twist ending. Is it actually intelligent? Well, not the way you and I are. It doesn't understand meaning. It doesn't have feelings. It has literally no idea that it even exists. And I promise you, it is not HAL 9000 waiting to lock you out of the spaceship. It is just pattern matching on an insane, dazzling scale. It is basically an incredibly well-read parrot with a photographic memory and zero personality of its own, just doing a really, really good job of pretending.
So here's the absolute crucial point. Why should you care about any of this? Because this ridiculously fast next word guessing machine is utterly changing our world. It can write your essays, debug your broken computer code, and patiently explain your physics homework until you actually get it. It can plan a super detailed itinerary for a trip to Goa, or surprisingly, decode those cryptic, messy heartbreak texts you get at 2 a.m. It is fundamentally changing how students learn, how businesses operate, and how all of us just get things done faster.
If there is just one thing you take away from this explainer, let it be this. AI is not a genius, and it is definitely not alive. It is simply a supremely well-trained autocomplete that was forced to read the entire internet. It predicts words for a living, and somehow, just through the sheer scale of the math involved, that is enough to make it feel exactly like magic. Now that you understand the trick behind the magic, you get to use it so much smarter. You'll know when to trust it, when to double-check its facts, and when to just laugh at it for confidently telling you that elephants can jump, which they definitely cannot, by the way. Don't let an AI do all your thinking for you. Hey, if this explainer helped you mystify the tech world for you, even a little bit, a quick like and subscribe is an amazing way to help us continue making these colorful guides for you. But before you go, ask yourself this. Now that you know the ultimate guessing machine's biggest secret, what are you going to trick it into building for you?